Hi, my name is Ahuva Warburg, and I am lucky to have been Sarah Lamdrach's niece. This shir is L'zecher Nishmat Sarah Rivka Bat Harav Nachum Umindal Lam. Psalm 81 begins with a heading. Verse 1 reads, Lamnatseach al Hagiti la'asaf, which translates as something like, for the leader of music as to the winepress of Asaph. After this heading, there are two sections. The first section calls upon Israel to make joyful noise to Hashem, and involves a command to sing aloud, a command to play a variety of musical instruments, and a command to blow the shofar when there is a full moon. First, the psalm reads, Harninu la'elokim uzenu, hariu la'elokei Yaakov. Sing for joy to God our strength, shout aloud to the God of Jacob. Then, su'u zimra utenu tof kinur na'im im navel. Begin the music, strike the drum, play the melodious harp and lyre. And then, tik'u b'chodesh shofar b'kasal yom chagenu. Sound the shofar at the new moon, when the moon is full, on the day of our feast. This last part is most likely referring to Rosh Hashanah. So the people are encouraged to do these things, to sing, to play instruments, and to blow the shofar. Ki chok liYisrael hu mishpat la'elokei Yaakov. For this is a decree for Israel, an ordinance of the God of Jacob. Meaning, they should do this as God decreed it at the time of the Exodus. The second section of this psalm consists of God speaking directly to the people. He rebukes Israel for not listening to him, reminding them of their deliverance from Egypt. Anochi Hashem Elokecha hama'alcha mi'eretz Mitzrayim. And he warns them not to worship false gods and idols. Lo yiyeh lecha el zar v'lo yishtachaveh le'el nechar. So God rebukes Israel for not having listened to his voice, and says that he has therefore removed his providence from them. This second section concludes with a wish that they will heed his voice and will follow in his ways, and thereby merit salvation and bracha. The connection between these two sections, the first, encouraging Israel to sing, to play musical instruments, and to blow the shofar, and the second, a criticism of Israel for failing to heed God's voice, can be explained by the fact that the psalmist first arouses the people to make joyful noise and to blow the shofar, and then explains the spiritual lesson to be gained from hearing these sounds. Dat Mikra points out that it's likely that it was actually upon hearing these sounds, likely on Rosh Hashanah, that the psalmist was actually visited by the Shekhinah and heard the voice of God rebuking the people, and the psalmist is now conveying this experience to the people in the form of God speaking in the first person. So the rebuke is arranged into 4 sections, each of which begins with a form of the word Shema, or to hear. This language of Shema perhaps hints to us that the psalm was recited while the musical instruments were actually being played and the shofar was actually being blown, and that the psalm's purpose is to teach the lesson that is to be heard by the blasts. These sounds of the music and the shofar should remind us of the redemption from Egypt, the trials of the Midbar, the 10 Commandments, the acceptance of Ol Malchut Shamayim, and the prohibition against idolatry that's mentioned in the psalm. The blasts further remind us to listen to God's voice and to be aware of the punishment given to the wicked and the reward given to the righteous. These are described at the end of the psalm. Aunt Sarah loved music and she loved to sing. When the whole Lamb family gets together, I can hear exactly what Aunt Sarah sounded like, singing along, always so beautifully and so joyously, always with a smile on her face. We truly miss her beautiful voice. In Aunt Sarah's zechut, I hope we can internalize the message of the music and the shofar blast described in this Perek, that we can hear God's voice and thereby merit bracha. Thank you.